I think the Ian Hughes session, absolutely fantastic. I mean, he always does something uniquely different, and the fact that he is different, I think, lures the audience, and you sit and wait with anticipation. I think he goes right to the boards and extremities and has everyone thinking. So I really enjoyed the session.
Now, again, you're all very astute people, you come from the industry, so you're thinking, well, hang on, he did the motor insurance test before, let's see if he does the motor insurance test again, he gets the same results. Well, 49, we did it with motor insurance, we told them you were paying for it, we ran the same thing again, will you please be honest? Yes, I will. Okay, great, think of a number, away we go, and the number was 51. So we got it to drop from 56 to 51, but the number of people who were barefaced lying had now dropped to 18.8%. Ladies and gentlemen, a fall of 9.5% in the number of people who were prepared to defraud us. And how did we do it? For free? Before they even started the process, we asked them to agree to be honest. You see, one of the problems with claims forms, if you have claims forms, is that the signature piece is at the end of the form. And by putting the signature piece at the end of the form, all you've actually done is you've asked somebody to reaffirm that the lies that they've just written in the form are okay, and that they will still be able to look at themselves in the mirror tomorrow morning. If you really, truly, honestly want to reduce fraud and inaccuracy within a claims form, the place to put the signature thing is at the front of the claims form, at the beginning. And what you get the person to do is to agree to be honest and truthful in all the answers that you give. And if you do that, sign here. If not, please call us and we will cancel your insurance. All you've got to do is think about it in terms of real humanity. Yes, it's kind of funny, but the truth is that nothing I've said is in any way, shape or form inaccurate or wrong. You all knew it intuitively. I didn't tell you anything new this morning, and yet all of you do this every day within the claims world. You get involved in the different sides of the debate when the consumer can't work out, well, hang on, is this loss adjuster, am I paying for the loss adjuster, or is the insurance company paying for the loss adjuster? And if so, who is the loss adjuster working for? There's a conflict of interest going on there. And I'm not being, there's no pledges, there's no moral reminders, there's no signatures, there's nothing. It doesn't matter if I lie, I can still look at myself in the mirror tomorrow morning. It'll all be good. If you want to reduce fraud, if you want to reduce inaccuracy, if you want to make claims more efficient, it's simple. You just think about the behavioral psychology.
It seems like in a lot of cases we've forgotten the human interaction in the claims process, and that when we're designing our processes and we're thinking about how they work efficiently and how they sort of reach our end goals, we do forget on how they interact with human beings and what human beings' different takes on that might be.
I loved the presentation, full of common sense. There were all sorts of aha moments when you just thought, yes, of course, why hadn't I thought of that before? And he did us all a great favour by saying, put the signature up front, the statement that you're being honest before you answer the questions, not afterwards, which is just so simple and obvious. That a great bit of advice to take.
With my counter-fraud sort of background, I was very interested to take that sort of view, to have a very scientific methodology applied to it that told me about how these people are influenced just by the fact that it's an insurer. The questions come in from an insurer, all of a sudden that makes it okay to be a bit crooked.
The biggest point that I took away was that the majority of people are honest. And I think that's fundamentally important to remember in the current climate, particularly with the information that's being put before, for example, the Transport Select Committee, where you do have the insurance market suggesting that 60% plus are exaggerating claims. But I suppose if you extrapolate consumer intelligence data sort of up into that environment, actually it's much, much lower than that. And I think that was one of the sort of biggest points that I took away. And the fact that you can influence behaviour, which I think we all know. I think Ian demonstrated that very well there.
The other thing that Ian mentioned was how the way that the industry has tried to sort of tell its story about their concern over fraudulent claims exaggerating, it actually had an unintended consequence in the eyes of the consumer, who's now thinking, they think I'm a fraudster is their starting point, and so therefore I don't trust them, and I'm going to be cagey when dealing with them, and I don't mind bending the truth to my advantage because I'm pretty sure they're going to try and do it against me.
I think it's quite subtle, the concept of changing the signature from the end of the claim form to the beginning of the claim form. But I wonder sort of how many insurers will make that move to fundamentally change the way in which their claim forms are designed. I mean, you heard Mike Brockman say that he was going back to review all his documents, and I applaud that, and I hope that that's been taken on board by the rest of the market, because it would appear from the example that Ian gave that you can influence people's behaviour.